welcome to Hudson. And today we have with us Rose, like I like to call her, but I know the children call her Miss Bastion, so you'll see her referred to as both. She is our lower school principal, and she's been with Hudson how many years now, Rose?
It's our 14th year.
Yeah, and you started as a grade six
I
teacher?
started as a grade 2 and then
Grade
grade
two.
3 and then grade 6.
Yeah, so she's been through the lower school in multiple capacities. And we also have Faiza or Miss Khan, a grade one teacher, but I knew her, I think 5 years ago as a JK teacher. So she's also been through Hudson for, yeah, at different grade levels. And myself, my name is Hami. I am the head of admissions. Yeah, so again, thank you so much for spending this evening with us. And we are here to talk about our program from JK to grade one. It is one of our most special years, as I'm sure Rose and Faiza will agree. We get the little ones, and they're all so excitable and so curious. And every year, I think the first 2 weeks of September, invariably Rose will come into the admissions office, and she'll be like, "Have you seen the JKs? Have you seen the SKs? They're so cute." And yeah, I can agree more. So, if you've ever been, to our school, driven past, or gone on our website, you'll see that our motto is "Be yourself, be anything." And yeah, I'm just going to invite Rose to say a few words about what this motto means to you, Rose, and also to the littlest of our community.
What's really fundamental to the teaching staff at Hudson is that we, like all educators, we can say that we like children, but we go beyond liking kids. We have a true respect for the individual child. And so from the very, very beginning, as soon as they enter that school, we encourage them to be themselves and we reflect that by respecting who that individual child is. So we honor their uniqueness, we encourage their uniqueness, we encourage their interests. And as they grow up, go through JK all the way up to grade 8, and then if they stay with us into the high school, by the end of their experience with Hudson, they really have a true sense of who they are. They truly have become themselves.
Thank you. That is wonderful, and I think we've heard this from a lot of our graduates, is in be it after grade 8 or after grade 12, is that this really rings true and they really feel supported in whatever it is that they want to pursue and whoever it is that they want to be. And yeah, so just a quick overview of Hudson. We have in total from JK to grade 12, 440 students, and among them, 245 are in the lower school, so JK through grade 8, and then the rest are in the upper school, so the high school. And among us, we have 16 different nationalities represented. This is something that we are very proud of, the diversity of our students in so many different ways. So if you see in the middle of the column on the left, that is our class size. So we have 16 students in JK, and that carries on to SK. And then in grade 1, we add 4 more to make a class of 20, and that class size stays until grade 4. And in grade 5, we add 2 more to make a class of 22. There is another piece of information I should have added here, but you'll see that later on, is that for grade 6, grade 6 is the first year when we start having more than one class per grade. And so in grade 6, we go on to a full grade class of grade 6 and a split class of 6 and 7s. And so we gradually add more students to the cohort in grade 7 and 8 as well, to prepare them for high school, where they'll be in a cohort of about 55 to 60. But we always keep the classes at 22. We also try really hard to maintain a gender ratio of girls to boys. It is not always 50-50, but we try to stay as close to that as possible. And among our teachers, this is something that we're very, very proud of, is the tenure at Hudson. Our teachers have all been here a long time. I myself have been at Hudson for 5 years, and our teachers are extremely experienced as well. And yeah, a large number of them have advanced degrees. Last year, we celebrated our 20th anniversary, and to date, we've had over 800 graduates, and all of them have gone on to a post secondary program of their choice. Yeah, and so if you've ever looked at early education at Hudson, you'll see that our program is very much influenced by the Reggio Emilia approach. And I'll introduce Faiza here to go over what it means and how it influences our program.
Good evening, everyone. So I'll just quickly touch on Reggio Emilia. I've actually worked at Hudson for about 8 years now. I love working here. I love the approach we use to teaching and learning in JKSK in grade one. So the Reggio Emilia approach is basically out of Italy. It's Reggio, our program is Reggio inspired. So whenever possible, we really try to incorporate the children's interests. There's some core concepts in Reggio Emilia. For example, the way we view children, like Rose mentioned, the image of the child is very different than other public schools. We view children as competent and capable. Relationships between the teacher, parents, and student and teacher are very important in Reggio Emilia. Transparency in what they're learning. So we try to share with the parents what we're learning. And whenever possible, we try to document the children's learning through an app called Seesaw. We also try to create a visual trace of their learning through the arts and sciences. So although we have some structure in our day in the math and literacy component, in the arts and sciences, mainly in social studies, we try our best to incorporate the children's interest and really just let them take charge of the learning. But our role as teachers is researcher and facilitator. So we are there to ask children those important, guiding questions to really get them thinking about topics and getting them to explore. The other aspect of Reggio Emilia curriculum is the environment in the classroom. So our JKSK classrooms are sort of set up that way to facilitate those activities and really encourage children to explore different materials, especially in the arts. That's very important. And there's also a lot of flexibility in our lessons. So there's a lot of planning, doing, and reviewing amongst the teachers and the children, especially with the sciences. For example, right now in my class in science, each of the children have chosen one animal that they wish to learn more about because we recently went to the zoo. So that's been a very meaningful and engaging part of our day because that's what they enjoy most. And whenever possible, we try to make math and literacy also very meaningful to the children. So, and we're very responsive, like our classrooms are very responsive to the children's social and emotional needs. And we do our absolute best to make sure that they feel safe, happy, and that they're learning something new each day and being challenged. So that's a little bit about Reggio Emilia and the approach. As it says on the slide, the teacher is a facilitator. So we're there observing closely to see what the children are interested in. And our job is to plan those activities and lessons to cater to that, while also incorporating curriculum expectations into it as well. So it's a lot of fun.
Thank you, Faiza. If you ever have a chance to visit us, yeah, you will see the works that the children produce, and just the little projects that they're always engaged in. Those are really fun to see. And yeah, so just a quick overview of our program from JK to grade 8. I know that this session today we're focused mainly on JK to grade 1, but I know that when you have a child entering these early grades, you are also thinking ahead about, what's there for the rest of primary school and what's there for middle school and even high school. So I'm going to have Rose just introduce our lower school program quickly over here.
So we have the JKSK, there is a direct focus on the Reggio Emilia. I think we promote Reggio in Faiza's class, which is the grade one class. A strong focus in the primary grades is reading. It's literacy, and not just in terms of reading and writing, but also literacy and math. Faiza is grade one is as an expert in the field of reading. So Faiza, do you want to talk about what the
Sure.
type of
Yeah.
program that we have in reading?
Yeah, so that's the more structured part of our day. So reading development is crucial in the early years from kindergarten all the way to grade one and two. So in JK, they focus on the phonemic awareness, so just a broader awareness of sounds and the phonology of the language. And then they focus on phonics, which is a huge component of learning how to read. So phonics is the foundation for those skills to learn how to read. We work on pre-reading skills like directionality, print awareness in JKSK. Then we just work on decoding as well, just, learning not just the alphabet, but the sounds for reading and writing. And one thing that we do really well in JKSK in grade one is we always teach for transfer. So whatever we're teaching, whether it's the lesson of the day is on letter, we make sure that the activities allow the children to transfer their phonics knowledge to their reading and writing. So if we're going to give them a book that day, it'll require them to really use their phonics knowledge with the text that they're tackling. And I think one of the things that we do really well again is the structured literacy that we have in place in JKSK grade one. And sometimes it's just 15 minutes every morning to start the day, to set the tone and get them engaged. And we have a drill and practice too in grade one when it comes to word recognition, word decoding. And all the ultimate goal of our reading program is comprehension. So we want children to eventually be learn to understand what they're reading. So what we do is we work on both. We work on reading, learning to read words, sentences, our fluency, and comprehension at the same time. So for example, right now in my class in grade one, the students have, a pretty good solid base of letter sounds, and they're starting to read, two sentences per page. So we're working on things like making connections to the text, retelling a story, and then asking comprehension questions when they're done reading a short story. And yeah, that's it's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding to see those gains that the children make.
We
And
also know that it works because we do a developmental reading assessment, and by the time our students finish grade one, they're actually reading, the majority read ahead of their grade level. We do the testing in grade two, three, and four. We have built into our program reading specialist, reading resource. If we identify that a child needs a bit of extra support, then we infuse the reading specialist into that classroom. And we do a bit of a pull-out program to make sure that they're able to catch up. The other thing that we do really well at Hudson is our Saxon Math program. It's a specialized math program. It's actually comes from the States, but we use it because it's proven to far exceed what is offered in the public school system. It's what they call a spiral teaching methodology, where the concept is introduced and then repeated over and over throughout the year. And it's really strong in getting into those foundational skills and the basic skills in mathematics. By the time we hit grade four, our students are actually doing novel studies. All our novel studies are related to social justice issues. So there is this constant rooted in the Reggio program. There's then carried into sort of the upper primary, which is grade three, then grade four, five, six, and so on. There's this constant discussion in the classroom, a lot of critical thinking. By the time they get to grade eight, they're actually studying Macbeth, some of the really high level novels. In grade six, they do Animal Farm. So there's a constant discussion, constant thinking, critical thinking infused with the arts.
if you could just touch on the character building, the citizenship and leadership aspects of the program, that would really be interesting.
Uh, what we have at Hudson, which is really unique to some of the private schools, it's what's called the middle school preparatory program, which actually starts in grade six and it's really emphasized in grade seven and eight. And the whole idea is that by the end of grade eight, we have released the responsibility of learning to our students, which makes them ready to attend high school and to be successful. So a folk, other than the academics, which is the Saxon Math and the formal writing, formal lab work in science, we work on executive functioning skills, all those soft skills that really schools don't focus on, but which are just as important as academic skills: organization of thought, organization of materials, how to work in a group, how to communicate your needs effectively. Our 7 and 8s are really focused on leadership. So we have what's called the charity project, where groups of grade 8s will present to the entire student body charity that they would like the school to focus on. And then the entire student body from grade 2 to grade 8 will vote on the charity that they feel presented the best and that should represent Hudson College. So there's this constant constant work on not only academics, but this sense of helping a child develop into the person that they are meant to be. In other words, be yourself, right?
Yeah, and as someone who is in charge of the admissions office, I just want to add that our 7th and 8th graders are also involved in our student ambassador program. So if you ever come for an open house, you will be greeted by student ambassadors from grade 7 all the way to grade 12. And they will be the ones that will tour you around the school, sign you in, walk you to the different classrooms or presentations that you want to go to. So yeah, they are an integral part of what we do every day. It's not just in the classroom through their lessons, but really the running of the school. And we have students who are in grade 12 right now who did start be doing ambassador duties in grade 7. So when I get to talk to parents who are toured by those students, I tell them these kids actually have 5 years of work experience. And not many teenagers can say that about themselves.
Can I just tell them of a leadership program that we started this year, Hemi?
Of course.
We had our grades eights are really interested in help working with the younger kids. So we had this company called SOS who provides babysitting certificates and CPR training. So 22 of our 48 grade 8 students signed up and spent an entire day with this company, and they became certified as babysitters. And now what we will do is create a roster for the families at Hudson who could call on these babysitters uh, to work for them. And it's really awesome because the younger kids will know who these babysitters actually are, their peers in their own school. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful program. I'm really excited. They've just finished the course yesterday, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's all very exciting and new. And yeah, so to cap out the program overview, I just wanted to show quickly a sample 8-day schedule here at Hudson. So yeah, we go by 8 days. So for example, if the Monday is day 1, so then Friday will be day 5, and then the following Monday will be day 6, and so on. And every day we have a double period of language and we do math. And then we have French, music, art, and other subjects sort of rotate throughout the week. And outside of the classroom, we also have a very wide variety of clubs and activities. Just a quick disclaimer, this is a list of everything that is available to everyone. So, depending on the grade that your children are in, they may or may not be able to join some of these clubs. But I would say that even in the younger grades, a good number of these clubs are available to them. And in terms of sports, if they can't join, say, a competitive just yet, we do offer lunchtime sport programs. And so for a number of weeks, 5 or 6, they would do a certain sport and then they change to the next and then they change to the next. And that is very popular with our kids. And in the winter, they do go skating. And then in the summer, we have a program with the Dovercourt Boys and Girls Club where they actually go to the Boys and Girls Club for half the day where they do swimming. What else is it that they do, Rose?
It's
So
private gardening.
yeah, we're with Dovercourt Boys and Girls Club, and they rotate. It's a half day, and they rotate
Yeah,
between a period of swimming, a period of science, and a period of arts and craft.
right.
So and they love it. They absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's built into the school day, so yeah, they get
Absolutely.
that sort of extracurricular while also fulfilling the curriculum
And the
expectations.
kids get there by bus, and it's only about 8 minutes away.
Yeah,
So
and in terms of other school-wide events, we have spelling bees, we have science fairs, we have the music recitals that everyone gets to take part in. And then when they get a little bit older, starting in grade 4, they also get to go camping overnight with their friends. So that I think is always the highlight for the kids getting to do that for the first time. And yes, just quickly running over some admissions numbers. Like I mentioned earlier, for JK, we have 16 places available. This is the whole class. And then for grade 1, we have 4 places. In grade 6, we add another 10 to 12 depending on who we have or how many we have for that group for that year to make to add to that split 6 and 7 class. And then in grade 7, we add another 20-ish students. And then for grade 9, we will add another 20 to 25. Yeah, again, depending on who in grade 8 will go on to the Hudson High School. If you are interested in JK, the deadline to apply is a little bit earlier. It is on November 11th. And this is because on November 15th, we have what we call the activity session, where we invite JK applicants to come to Hudson and spend about an hour and a half with some other JK applicant friends while and they do that with the JK teachers. And at the same time, while the activity session is happening, parents will get to sit down with Miss Bastion and kind of just talk about what it's like to be a JK parent at Hudson and what is expected uh, out of the program, and yeah, sort of like how the transition works and so on. And if you apply by this deadline for JK applicants, you will hear back from us by December 20th. That is the last day of the term before we go on winter break. And for SK and all the other grades, the earliest deadline will be December 1st. If you apply by this deadline, you will hear back from us by February 1st. And then the second and last deadline we have is January 31st. If you apply by this deadline, you'll hear back from us by March 1st. And after March 1st, we will practice rolling admissions for any grades that still have available seats. And to apply, you can simply go on the link over there, or if you'd like to, you can just drop a message in the chat here and I'll be happy to send the application over. And also, just quickly about the admissions process for grades that are not JK. So for SK to grade 8, we practice the same admissions process of starting with the online application, which you can access on our website. And once you fill in the online application, you'll receive a checklist of items to fulfill. So depending on the grade, you may be asked for report cards or teacher recommendations. And once those items are in, we will invite your child to come in for a visit day. So this is when they get to spend a whole day with Hudson students, or like I like to say, pretending to be a Hudson student. They'll get to take part in everything and have a hot lunch if they'd like to. And by the end of the day, students are usually quite excited. If it's a good fit, they will say, "Can I come back like tomorrow?"
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and for students, this doesn't apply to JK through grade 1, but yeah, for students applying to grade 4 and above, they do have to complete an online assessment of math and language questions at home before the visit day is scheduled. And to cap off, I would love to invite everyone to visit us in person at one of our open houses. So they are all in November, and the lower school open houses, both of them are before the JK deadline. So you will have a chance to come and see the school in person, meet the teachers, talk to them, see our students and parents, before you make the decision to apply. So November 2nd is a Saturday. You, everyone will be there. And then for November 7th, it's, I believe, a Thursday evening, and that is specifically for the lower school. And if you have older children, we have another open house for the upper school, specifically on the 12th. If you would like to sign up, simply scan the QR code on screen or follow the link over there. It will take you straight to the events page on our website, and you can sign up for the open house that fits your schedule. And with that, I have finished my presentation. And so if we have any questions,